Anybody there? Hey, Martha. Hey, Amy. How's everybody doing today? It's almost Friday. Yay! We wish our life away, don't we? Hey, Candace. Tell Granny happy birthday for me, Candace. I meant to get her a card in the mail and I haven't done it yet. Tell her happy birthday, though. Let's see. Carol. How's everybody doing? Thank you, Martha. All right, y'all. I'm going to do something so simple tonight. And it's just, I'm almost embarrassed to do it because it's just so simple. I'm making spaghetti. And I don't do anything special. I buy a jar of sauce, I bring a hamburger meat, I make spaghetti. But I had mentioned a long time ago that when I make spaghetti that I normally make spaghetti squash, and that's what I eat. Donnie doesn't eat it, he just eats noodles, but I usually eat spaghetti squash. So someone had asked, how do I make my spaghetti squash? So I'm gonna make my spaghetti squash tonight. Now, tonight, I'm gonna use my Ninja Foodi pressure cooker to cook it. I have cooked it many ways. I've cooked it in the microwave, I've cooked it in the oven, and I've cooked it in my pressure cooker. But the pressure cooker is going to be the fastest, so that's the way I'm going to cook it tonight. Now, this is a spaghetti squash that I bought at the store. I actually raised these one year and did really good with them, but I didn't raise any this year, but I bought this one. They'll last a good while in your refrigerator. Now, you can cut it. You've got to cut it and you got to cook it. So you can cut it this way or you can cut it this way. I used to cut it this way, but I've got to where I cut it this way now. I don't know. So I'm going to cut it into, they're kind of tough. And they got these seeds in the middle. So I do want to get those out. So I'm just going to take a spoon, kind of like a pumpkin. Hey, Jerry Wayne, Kim, Roger. Can't eat it raw? I don't know. I've never ate it raw, Roger. So, I'm going to scoop these seeds out. And get them all out. Just take a spoon and rake around on the inside, like so. And just scrape them out. Like that. Well, that's got that one half. Now, I kind of chopped that a little uneven, didn't I? I never have sharpened my knives since I said they needed it. All right, now I'm going to get them out of the rest of it. Hey, Amanda and LaWanda and Bobby. All right, let's see if I can get the rest of these seeds out. Okay. That one came out in a big hump. Now you can cook this different ways and season it differently and you can eat it differently, but I'm gonna make it with marinara sauce on top of it and cheese. It's gonna be really good. Okay, there we go. Now, get these off my board here. Now the next thing that I do, and you can actually, I've saved these seeds and planted them and raised them, so always worked for me. I'm gonna cut a little bit off the end here. This is tough, and my knife is dull. It's not that dull though, this is just tough. What I'm doing is I'm trying to cut it so it'll kind of be flat where it'll sit up. There we go. This one's sitting up pretty good, but I'll go ahead and cut that one too. Alright, so there we go. So now they'll sit upright. And I'm going to take some olive oil and I'm going to drizzle it around and inside it. And I'm going to actually take my little brush and just brush it so it gets coated all around it good, like so. There we go. Now, I'm going to season it really well with some garlic salt. My garlic salt's caking up on me. Some garlic salt on it. And I've got some Italian seasonings like oregano and basil and thyme, things like that. I'm going to sprinkle around on it. Just some good Italian seasonings all mixed together. I'm just going to put it all on there. I've got some parsley. Sherry, I missed what you said. I'll have to go back and read it. Sorry about that. Hey, Sherry. I think I saw Melinda join. I'll try to go back and read what you said, Jerry, in just a second. So that's parsley, and now some black pepper. All right, so I cut my spaghetti squash in half, raked out the inside, brushed it with olive oil, garlic salt, Italian seasoning, parsley, and black pepper. Now, I'm going to go ahead, I don't think I want the basket because I don't think it'll fit too great. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my pressure pot. I've got a Ninja Foodi, and I'm going to stick it over here in it. Guess I need a little water. I need to think about that. Probably a half a cup of water. Half cup probably fine. It's a little more, but I'll just put a half cup in there. Let me bring it over here. Hold on. All right. So I'll put it in the bottom here. About a half cup. Hey, Leslie. And set it on seal. Let me make sure. Yep. And then I'm going to set it on pressure. And I'm going to set it for 3 minutes. I can't remember how long I pressured it the last time I did it. But I remembered it was a little too long. It was a little mushier than I wanted. It may be this time too, but I think I did it 5 minutes. I'm going to do it 3 minutes and we're going to check it and see how it goes, okay? Of course, it takes a little bit of time for it to build up and everything. So we're going to do pressure, high, 3 minutes. And then we'll check it in a few minutes and see how it's doing. Okay, so like I said, I'm just making spaghetti tonight. So back here I've got some ground beef. I'm going to brown it up, and I'm just going to put my favorite marinara sauce in it, which is the super chunky mushroom. That's what I love. Daddy does tell some of the best stories. I need to scroll down and see what everybody's been saying here for just a second. Let me see if I can read everybody's comments. Oh, Jerry thinks I should get my dad to help me. Yes, I'm telling you, my dad does have the best stories about growing up. He has some really good ones, and we told him we wanted him to write a book, and he actually has written some of his stories down about when he was growing up. One of my favorite stories that he tells is about the first time he ever saw a helicopter. So he didn't know what was going on. It scared him to death. He'd never seen a helicopter. And he was down in the barn lot, and it came over the hill. It's one of the best stories. He has some good ones too. Martha, he's got one about your mama. He told it the other day. She scared him and Junior. They waited too late to bring the wood in. And she hid and scared them. So, Daddy does tell good stories. Hi everybody. Hey Joan, Regina. Okay, so I'm browning my hamburger meat. I'm gonna make Donnie some noodles to go with his. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn my water on. And in my water, I'm gonna add a little salt, because when you're boiling noodles, the only chance you've got to season those noodles is while they're in the water boiling, to really get them seasoned. I'm also gonna add a little bit of olive oil to it to try to keep them from sticking together. So a little olive oil and a little salt. And let me go ahead and stir my hamburger meat. It won't take this hamburger meat long to get brown because it's thawed up, it's not froze, and you just don't take it long. I'm going to go ahead and turn my oven on and get it heating up, because I'm going to put my spaghetti squash in a dish and layer it up with some cheese and stuff and put it in there and let that out. I could probably put it in this too, but I want to put it in this little container. I've never put one of these in my air fryer. I don't know. It may, I don't think it would hurt it, but I've never done that. So we'll just see. We'll see how it goes. Now this spaghetti sauce or marinara sauce has mushrooms in it. It's super chunky mushroom, but I'm going to go ahead and cut a few more mushrooms up to add, because I like extra mushrooms. Y'all know that. Hey Patsy, Brent. So just go ahead and slice these up. It'll take my pressure cooker a little while, a few minutes to build up the pressure. So it takes longer than, you know, the 3 minutes. You think, well, I'm going to put it in for 3 minutes, but it'll take several minutes to get the pressure built. I'm just going to add a little more mushrooms to it. Maybe not a whole lot, but just a little more. You can add all kinds of stuff to it. It makes it really good. I've made a vegetable lasagna before. This kind of reminds me of it because you're using the squash. And it has spinach and broccoli and mushrooms and marinara sauce and all that in it. It's really good too. I really like it. I haven't made that in years, but I used to make it a lot. It's actually a Weight Watcher recipe. You know, I used to do Weight Watchers. I need to do it again. Hey, Willa Dean, Patsy. Let me check my meat back here. This must have been ground beef. It's got a lot of fats in it instead of ground chuck. Now, if you wanted to add a little salt to your meat, you can. I don't, because for me, the marinara sauce has enough salt in it for my taste, so I don't add more. I just don't. It's good enough as it is. Get done. It's almost done. So Pressure's starting to build on my pressure cooker. If you're just joining me, I've got spaghetti squash in my pressure cooker, and I just cut it in half and scooped out the seeds and brushed it with olive oil and a lot of Italian seasonings and salt and garlic salt, black pepper. So I'm cooking that, and I'm going to make a little baked spaghetti squash dish is what I'm going to do. So sometimes when I do it, I don't do the bake. I just put it in a plate like you would your spaghetti. Sometimes I'll add a few of the actual noodles to it to give it a little more of a little texture, you know, of the noodles, a little more texture. So sometimes I'll do that. We're just having an easy supper tonight. I saw a recipe somebody posted today for a cream cheese Danish made with crescent rolls. I almost made that, but I don't need it. So I'm not going to make it tonight. I might make it another night. Hey Martha. Hey Elaine. All right. Okay, that's coming along. I'm going to get me a bowl to drain my grease into. Need a hot pad here. Because this meat is coming along very quickly. Some people like to add onions to their meat, and green peppers and things like that. Those are all fine if you like those. I'm just staying very basic. I'm draining the fat off into a little bowl. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my sauce to it and let it kind of simmer. Hey, Hunter, my day's going good. I love you too, buddy. Hey, Lori. You wasn't sure if you liked it at first. It's good. I like it. I like it myself. Even Donnie said it's not bad. He's just not going to go this healthy option. I mean, I know that. I'm just not even going to go there with him. Alright. So, I've added my sauce to my meat. I'm just going to stir it around and turn it down a little bit. And I'm just going to let it simmer a little bit to just kind of get the flavors mixed together. I tell you, I have made homemade spaghetti sauce, and it takes a while for it to cook. And honestly, I just love this Ragu Super Chunky mushroom so much that it's just not worth it to me. I just love it. And Donnie does too. So when I find something that he likes, then I'm going to go with it. And I'll go ahead and add these mushrooms. It's got mushrooms in it, but I like it. I like a lot of mushrooms, y'all know that. So I'm going to go ahead and throw those in. And toss them around a little bit. And this is going to be way more than I can eat tonight, so I always freeze the extra. And then the next time I make spaghetti, I've got a little bag of spaghetti squash in the freezer, and I'll pull it out and thaw it up, and I'm good to go. So I do a lot of freezer stuff, y'all. I cooked a big old pot of turnip greens yesterday, and I'll be freezing those and pulling them out and just heating them up. They'll be a quick, just cook, when you're freezing turnip greens, just cook them all the way. Just cook them all the way done, like you know, season them and everything. And then you just take them out and heat them up. They're good to go. Okay, this thing's got pressure, so it should start timing down here in a second. Let's see if the water's boiling. It's not boiling yet. Watch, pot never boils. I'm going to top it with some cheese, and probably going to put a few pepperonis in mine. Different kinds of cheese and all kinds of good stuff. Hey, LaRonda, how are you doing today? Thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate it. If y'all see something you like, then share my videos, and hopefully we can get these people all over the United States cooking like us Southerners. Make everybody fat. Add some more grease and butter to it, it'll be good. Alright, y'all, it's getting there. Hey, Penny Joe. Hey, Jill. Is Addison Lee watching? Addie likes for me to say hey to her. So I'm hoping she's watching today. She's my little great niece. She's a good cook too. She's learning how to cook from her mama. And her mama's a good cook too. You're not sure? She not with you? See, I said her name like 3 times and she's not even with you. One day she got mad at me because she didn't think I said hi to her. And I did, but for some reason the connection must have dropped or something and it blipped and you didn't hear me. She didn't hear me say her name. So all my babies. I think Reese, she likes to watch me too. Boone and Paul J, they probably don't have time. Alright, I'm not sure what's happening here. It looks like it's dropped a little pressure, but hopefully it'll come. Oh, good. Now my noodles are boiling. So I'm going to go ahead and just add some noodles. Do y'all know how long I have had this thing? I don't know, but it's probably been 25 years or more. It's probably more than that. I've had this set of canisters. I'm going to make way too many noodles because I always do. But we always have leftovers. I cook a lot every night. We always have leftovers. And I eat them for lunch, or sometimes we'll eat them for supper the next day. I'm going to break mine in half. Put them in here. That's hot. Gotta find my mitt. I can't pick that up. Alright. Okay. Now I'll leave the lid off of this now that I've got the noodles in it. When I want to get something boiling, I always put the lid on it. It holds that heat in and it gets it to boiling faster. Huh. I don't know. My pressure cooker is messing up. Something is. I may not have had that on there good. I don't know, y'all. Let's see what we can do. Let me turn it off. Probably gonna have to turn it off and let it drop its pressure and take it off. And it's never done this, so of course I'm doing a video. It's gonna do something weird. But I don't want it to blow up. I might not have, there might be something like on the seal and it may not be sealing. Be my luck, that's what it is. I usually try to check it, even check the seal and check the top ring around the... Ooh, it's been cooking. Oh, it cooked all the water out. I don't know. I think it might be done anyway. It is. I think it's fine. It's done. So, hey, I got lucky. Now, these are really hot. I'm going to tell you. I am going to get a mitt. Probably a wore out mitt here. Let me turn this off because that's cooked enough. Alright. See if I can get this out. Woo. There's Fagan, he's on the back porch. Alright. These are very hot to handle. It wanted more water, is that what it was? Jill? Probably because it did, it boiled all the water out. I didn't put enough water in it. So I put a half a cup, so probably needed a whole cup. But it is done. Take your fork, I've got a mitt on this hand, and see how it's pulling away and it's stringing. See how it's stringing like spaghetti? And that's why they call it spaghetti squash. Like I said, Fagan's wanting out. Or in. He's already out. He's wanting in. I hear him. He's at the door. But I'm going to leave him out there. Alright. See how that pulls away? I bet that's what it was saying, Jill. I couldn't read it. It said add, and I couldn't read what it was saying, but water. I bet that's what it was saying. Add water. Huh. I took a guess on how much water to put in it. So put a cup of water in it. I'm going to have fun cleaning up the bottom. Alright, I'm stirring it around so that I can get all those seasonings incorporated. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to layer a layer of it in the bottom of my dish here. But see how it looks like spaghetti, y'all? And that's good because the last time I cooked it, it was really mushy. What kind of knives do I use? I bought these knives. I bought this set of knives for Donnie for Christmas. Over 20 years ago. They were Emerald Lagasse was the brand. They were emeralds. And they're Wusthof. So they're Wusthof German. They're German knives, Wusthof. But this was Emerald's brand. And so I have a whole set of them. I have steak knives and a chef knife and all kinds of different ones. And they sharpen up really good. I've had these knives, like I said, for over 20 years. I know, it's been over 20 years. And they've really done well. Alright. So I'm going to put a layer of the spaghetti squash. A generous layer. Now, like I said, I'm going to set this back over here, and I'll do the other one. I'll shred it out with a fork, and I'll freeze that, or put it in the refrigerator. I might have sauce left. You're welcome, Jerry. Okay, now, my sauce that I made, I'm going to spoon it over here into this dish. Fagan's getting mad at me, y'all. He'll be alright. I like a lot, so I'm putting a lot in there. This is just gonna be mine. Alright. There's that. Now, I'm gonna put a few pepperonis in mine. I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, back when I used to work at Pizza Hut back in the 80s, we had cavatelli, and it was like a baked pasta dish. This is what I always think of when I make this. Of course, it's not pasta, but that's what I always think about. Now I'm going to take some mozzarella cheese. That's a lot of pepperonis in there. Kind of got carried away on the pepperonis. Put some mozzarella cheese on it. I like a lot of cheese, so I'll put a good helping of cheese. And I'm also going to put some Parmesan cheese on it. You could also do this with just spaghetti and make a baked spaghetti. I'm not going to for Donnie because he'd just really rather have it just like that right there. So, I like a lot of cheese, y'all. Now I'm going to set this in the oven, and I'm probably going to put a cookie sheet under it in case it bubbles over. But I'm really just melting the cheese. That's really all I'm wanting to do by setting it in the oven. Let me grab a cookie sheet. And I might as well open the door while I'm over here, so Fagan don't beat it down. Come on in, Bubba. Come on. Did you get tired of being out there by yourself? Alright, so I use cookie sheets a whole lot underneath what I'm cooking so that if it bubbles over, it don't get in my oven. Alright, let me check on the noodles and see. I think they're done. They're fine. So I'm going to turn those off. Once this, once the cheese melts on mine, I'll be done. And I already had the oven heated up pretty high. And go ahead and drain these noodles and rinse them. Always rinse them in cold water to stop the cooking. Now, something that I like to do with my spaghetti noodles, Donnie doesn't like it as much, so I'm not going to do it, but I'll tell you, I like to do it. I like to go ahead and drizzle some olive oil on them, and I like to sprinkle them with some garlic salt and some Italian seasonings, and that makes them so good. But Dawn doesn't like that real strong Italian seasoning, so I'll not do his like that. All right, while we're waiting on the cheese to melt on mine, I'm gonna go ahead and work on these just to show you how simple. You know, probably I had that set on 3 minutes, but it never did pressure. I bet if you just set that on pressure for a minute or two, it would be plenty, because this is perfect. That is perfect spaghetti squash right there. Let me grab a dish to kind of put this off into. And see, it just makes a hole. Woo! I think we got plenty out of that one. And if you see how, and then let me go ahead and grab this other one. And I'm gonna pour this liquid that's kind of in it. I'm gonna go ahead and just pour it in there. This one's still hot. Let me grab my mitt. They're really hot. You have to be careful. All right. So that gave it, because you know I just seasoned the outer layer. There's a piece of the hull. So you want to mix it up to get that seasoning down in it there. All right. See how easy this pulls, y'all? And you can eat it just like this as a side dish. You don't have to make the marinara, and you can just season it up and eat it as a side dish. I'm fixing to taste it. So if you've ever wondered what in the world do you do with spaghetti squash, well, here you go. This is what you do with it. Let me pull it out in here. Woo! And that bottom where I cut it, it's got a hard edge on it, so I'm going to throw it away too. Okay. Yeah, they can burn you. You have to be careful. I don't know that I've ever had one cook out that good and not be too mushy. Like I said, I usually cook them in the microwave or in the oven. When I cook them in the oven, I just put some foil over them, put them in a pan, put some foil over them, just kind of keep my eye on them. When I cook them in the microwave, I'll put them in a dish like this and put some saran wrap over it. And I usually cook it in like 5-minute intervals and just keep a check on it. But there we go. There's my spaghetti squash, and I'm going to give it a taste. It's real good. Just as a side dish. You could totally eat that as a side dish. And like I said, I'm going to freeze. I'll probably section it up in like individual servings and put it in little bags and freeze it. And that way I've got it whenever I want it. Woo! We got some smoke going. It did boil over. I knew it would because I filled it up really good. So it did boil over. It's about ready to get out. I'm fixing to get it. And I want to show it to you. It's going to be hot too. This is kind of wet, so I don't want to use it. Don't use a wet mitt, y'all. I need some new mitts because this could be dangerous. I got a hole in this one. I'll put it on this hand. The hole is on the back. All right, I'm fixing to get this thing out. Wow. Like I said, it did boil over. It's a boiling pretty good. Wow. Ooh. There we go. See how it's bubbling? There is my baked spaghetti with spaghetti squash. I could have left it in there a little longer, let the cheese brown up a little more, but I didn't want to keep y'all too long. It's going to be real good. It's so hot right now, I don't know if I can. I said the alarm's off. Woo! We knew that was going to happen one day. Hang on. It's all right, Megan. Woo! Woo! Good place, start again. It's okay, Megan. Megan has headed for the door. Hey Megan, is Addie watching? Tell Addie I said hi. Alright y'all, we knew that was going to happen one day. If you're just joining me, the reason the alarm went off was this boiled over in my oven, but I knew it was going to. So I put a cookie sheet under it. But let me go ahead and grab a quick taste. Woo! I know it's hot. I'm just going to get a little taste here. Y'all, that is so good, and you will not miss the noodles. It is so good. Give it a try. If you've never tried spaghetti squash, this is a good way to eat it. And hopefully you will enjoy it. I know I do. Hey, Addie. All right, I better go tend to Fagin. That alarm just freaked him out. So y'all have a good night. Enjoy your supper, whatever you're having. And come back and join me in the kitchen with Julie Ellen sometime. Bye-bye.